What's up, everybody? I'm Dreadful Gooz. I'm here at Murder the Mix Studios, and I have been a guitar teacher for over 10 years. I've been told that I'm a pretty good instructor, and that's both cool and ironic because I myself am a self-taught guitarist. I think the fact that I am a self-taught guitarist is what makes me a good teacher because I understand and have been through many of the hurdles that you guys watching this video may be facing. Now, I'm not one of these know-it-all teachers, and I don't claim to always be right. But one thing that I have discovered is that my biggest strength as a teacher is the ability to find, isolate, and come up with solutions to fix a problem. And with that said, that brings me into the topic for today's video: how to find, isolate, and come up with a solution to better your guitar playing and to better the areas in which you're struggling. Let's get it. So this video will not be about a specific technique or a specific song or passage to play, but it is about introducing general concepts that are very simple but are often overlooked. As guitarists and/or musicians, we've all been there before, whether it be playing a song from one of your favorite bands or playing your own original music or your own band's original music. It can be pretty frustrating when you get to that one part of the song where it just starts to fall apart. In order for this video to be effective, I want you to think about a specific riff, a specific solo, or a specific passage in a song or transition that gives you an issue. Now, with my guitar students, it's easy for me to pinpoint what they need to work on or what they need to do to improve. However, since I can't get to all of you, I'm gonna need you guys to do your part so that this video can help you out as best as possible. I want to share with you guys a passage from one of my sweep picking studies that I created. Let's zoom into the fretboard and let's take a look at what gives me an issue. So I'm not going to go any further because I have found my problem area. Now, I try to avoid rolling my fingers across the frets as much as possible because what happens is it usually sounds good ascending and it sounds sometimes a little sloppy descending, which is why I play this C minor sweep pattern like this. Okay, so now, first step, I found my problem area. Now that I've found it, now we need to take a closer look and examine it and isolate what exactly about this C minor sweeping pattern is giving me an issue. Now what I want to do is I want to take this pattern and I want to play it at full speed. That way, I can see exactly where things start to go wrong. All right, so that sounded pretty good. So I basically nailed it on the first try. But remember what I told you about in the beginning of the video. Sometimes these passages are hit or miss. Sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. We want to be as surgical as possible and precise as possible. So now that I played it the first time and there was no issue, let me play it over and over and over for a little bit. That way I can start to see where things start to go wrong. Is it that I'm getting fatigued? Is it that I'm just, kind of throwing my fingers out there and they're not as accurate after the first try? Let's see. All right, so I caught what I was doing wrong and I made the adjustment on the fly. But if you notice, the first few that I did sounded like crap, especially with all the delay. You can hear the trailing errors. And I realized when taking a really close look at it that my pinky is the culprit. And I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but my pinkies are like this because I'm double jointed, and I don't know, maybe that makes it a little bit harder to play guitar. I don't know, but these are the hands that I've been given. So I noticed that when my pinky comes down for the first time, it doesn't come down like this onto the fretboard or the strings. It's coming down flat like that. And when it lifts, it's causing a trail of just like, noise. And obviously if I'm playing with effects like delay, that's just gonna make that trailing noise worse. What's happening is I'm not always landing this note cleanly. See, that's much better because you can see that it's curved. But when it lands like this, I'm just asking for a bunch of like noise and trouble. Especially because the arpeggio is fast, it's like there's no room for error. And again, like I said, if you're playing with delay, it makes it sound cool, but you've got to be super accurate, because if not, you're just gonna get a trail of noise and it's just gonna get progressively worse and worse and worse. So now that I have found the problem, now that I have also isolated the exact issue that is going on when I'm playing this passage, now we need to come up with a solution to fix this. Now, what most people will do in this situation is that they will play it slowly. Some will even go the extra step, which is great, to play it with a metronome, slower, but with a metronome, which is awesome. That definitely helps, and you should always do that if you're having an issue. But they just repeat the same issue over and over, or the same error, I should say, over and over and over. Which is why it is so important to do the step that we just did, is isolate the problem. Now that I have isolated the problem, I know that my pinky is landing flat like this. We want it to land like this with the rest of the fingers on the fretboard or on the strings. So I wouldn't play the entire sweep pattern. I would only go up to where I'm having the issue. So slowly it will look like this. Now I'll do this over and over with the correction of playing it like this as opposed to with my pinky flat like this. I'll do that over and over with the correction until it feels natural. Now little by little I'll start to speed things up, but I'll only play up until the area that was giving me an issue. Not 100%, but definitely much better. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm not going to make you guys watch me practice to a metronome over and over, but if I wasn't filming right now and I was trying to isolate this issue and fix it and come up with a solution to, make things sound better, that's exactly what I would be doing. Now, I've determined that that's the only part of this sweep pattern that gives me an issue. So there's not much left I need to do in order to correct this. However, I do want to say that sometimes, even though you find the problem, you isolate it, and you make the corrections to fix it, sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes you need to come up with different exercise patterns that will actually help you play what you're trying to do better. Now, when I made the correction and I started to gradually speed up, I noticed that my pinky was starting to get a bit fatigued. So an exercise that will help me get more strength out of the little guy over here is a trill. For those of you who don't know what a trill is, it's a repeated hammer-on and pull-off. Now usually trills are much faster than that. They're usually something like this. Doing a trill like that for an extended period of time, with a metronome of course, may actually help me more than doing the actual sweep pattern itself. The trill not only will help me be super accurate, but it'll also build a lot of strength and muscle in the pinky, because doing trills for an extended period of time is actually really physically tough on the hand. So that's my thought process on how I go ahead and fix issues that I'm having when I am playing guitar. For those of you who are really serious about taking your guitar playing to the next level and want me to be your teacher, definitely send me a message either on any of my social media links that you'll see down below or through my email, dreadfulgooz@gmail.com. All right, guys, this has been another episode of Goozman's Dreadful Guitar Tips. Share this video with all your friends. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow all my social media links down below. Peace.